Hi guys, it's Coily Diaries back with another video. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe and make sure to click on that notification bell to make sure that you don't miss out on any videos that I post out here. Now, in this video, I just wanted to come out here and discuss 8 of the worst things that you can say to a lady that's pregnant. For those that have been with me for a while, you know that I've just had my first child. Yay, a beautiful baby boy. However, there's some things that I've experienced, or that I experienced while I was pregnant, that I thought, my goodness, we should do better. We should know better, especially as women. And I just want to talk about it in this video because it was quite important for me to be surrounded by positivity at that time. And some of the things that some people were saying to me or would comment around, my pregnancy really brought me down or discouraged me or made me feel some kind of way. And even if they didn't, I just feel like some things are inappropriate and you don't need to say them really, if we're to be honest. So if you're interested, and especially for moms out there, whether you're a new mom or you've been a mom for a while, please be sure to comment below, share your experience, and yeah, let's get the conversation going down in the comment section. Now, the things that I am going to discuss in this video are 8 points or 8 comments that are inappropriate, to say to a pregnant woman, according to me. And also some of them were said to me, but others were not. So just be aware that whatever I speak about in this video doesn't necessarily mean that I experienced it, but yeah, some of it I did. And I'm here to make this video because I want to do better. Like, I don't think I'm the most appropriate person. If anything, I'm one of the most awkward people. I'm introverted. I'm really prone to say the wrong things. Like in a crowd, sometimes I overcompensate. And in an attempt to just, dim that awkwardness, I say the wrong thing. And I'm sure I've said this to some people before I was pregnant. I've said it to some of my pregnant friends, and looking back, it was inappropriate. And yeah, I want to do better. And obviously I'm putting it out there just in case you don't know. These things are inappropriate. And a pregnant woman, she's going through a lot already. And the last thing you want is negativity or to bring her down. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the video. So the first one I want to discuss is you look terrible, or you look unkempt. This is a comment that someone said to me, or some certain people, it wasn't just one person, say to me, you look unkempt, or you don't look very put together, in their opinion. And to be honest, in as much as that's probably true at that particular time, when you look at what I'm going through, I think, yeah, I gave myself a little bit of grace to not look my very best. And for someone to feel compelled to actually say it, I just feel like it's inappropriate and uncalled for. And maybe because I had such a difficult pregnancy, I was quite sensitive, I guess, to commentary like that. I don't know, but in my view, I think that's not something that we should say to someone that's going through that. If anything, we should be supporting them or doing things to help them, self-care in the moment or while they go through their pregnancy, rather than just pointing out, hey, you don't look as polished, or you don't look put together, or your nails are not done, or your hair is not done. My hair has been a mess for the longest time during my pregnancy, and to be honest, it's just hair. What's important is my mental health, and for me to enjoy, obviously, the process of bringing a human being into the world. And the last thing on my mind is, how I look. So yeah, that's one that I think is inappropriate. The next one, unfortunately, I experienced as well. Certain people would ask for maybe a photo of me, and I'd send them a photo, and sometimes it's not a full-length photo. They would ask for a full-length photo, and then when you send it, they're like, oh, you look big, you look really big, or you've grown fat. Even worse. I'm a culprit of this. I think one of my friends 2-3 years ago was pregnant, and she had gained a bit of weight, and I actually said, oh, you've gained a bit of weight. I said it to her. Looking back now, I'm just like, look, that was the most inappropriate thing to say. It's unnecessary. I'm sure people that are pregnant know that they gain weight with pregnancy. I mean, it comes with the territory, you know, you gain weight for Bob and also for yourself. But for people to actually say it, I think is wrong. And to be honest, for people that say that to me, I'm just like, because for anybody that knows my story, I suffered hyperemesis with my pregnancy. So I'd actually lost weight, right? I'd lost weight through my pregnancy, and I didn't gain any weight. I didn't look big. Nothing changed on my face. So my nose, especially the nose, people like to, you know, focus on that. Oh my gosh, the nose, it's so big or whatever. I didn't experience any of that. I remained the same pretty much for the entire length of my pregnancy. But for someone to feel compelled to tell me that I feel big, I look big, even when I wasn't big, it didn't feel good. And I just imagine if I was indeed bigger than normal or bigger than I wanted to, that would really affect you, because once again, I'm sure the pregnant lady can see she's bigger, and she doesn't need people pointing it out. You're bigger, your nose is bigger, or you're flabbier, or whatever the case. We need to be gentler with each other with words, and I think maybe I am sensitive, but yeah, I don't know. Let me know if I'm saying the right thing. Would you be offended if someone came to you and said, you look fat while you're pregnant? Obviously I'm bigger, the belly is bigger. I want it to be bigger because it means baby is growing, duh. But man, to come outright and just say you look big, I don't know. I feel like that's just, yeah, that's really sad that people can actually vocalize that. Another one, unfortunately, that I have experienced is people just saying to me, oh, just drink water. So with hyperemesis, I struggled to eat. I struggled to keep water down. Fluids, any fluids. I struggled with extreme heartburn. Could only take bits at a time. There were times that I was hospitalized for dehydration. And when I shared my story with this particular person, they came back to me and said, oh, just drink water. You can't tell someone to just do something. I mean, I know certain pregnancies are a breeze for some women, but that's not the case for everybody. And for me, it definitely wasn't the case. And for someone to just say, just do this, it means they lack understanding of what hyperemesis is and what I'm going through, to just pass a comment like that. And I think it obviously applies not just to, you know, this particular situation where someone's asking me to drink more water. It could be, you know, just brace it, or just, you know, go with the flow, or you're not the first woman to get pregnant. You know, sometimes people throw these words or these statements to sort of suggest that, you know, take it because you're not the first woman to do it. It's pregnancy. Women have been doing it for centuries. Get over yourself, you know, and that is, it can really be negative or discouraging when you're going through a lot already with the pregnancy. So yeah, that's one thing that I am cautioning myself to be sensitive towards, but also putting it out there that, you know, it's probably not a nice comment to say to someone, just do this, as though it's easy. Even if yours were easy, we need to be a little bit more sensitive that the next person might not have things as easy as ourselves. Wow, you are really struggling with this pregnancy, aren't you? Someone said that to me. I was struggling, and unfortunately they felt the need to magnify that. Once again, instead of the negativity or zooming in on the bad, I think if you are around someone that's expecting, it's more gentler, it's kinder to not only uplift them but to encourage them and assist where you can. Obviously she's struggling. If you can see she's struggling, then she probably knows she's struggling. So the last thing she wants to hear is someone magnify that. What's going to really help is to encourage her. Hey, you're doing great, you know, you've done this, you're doing better, it's gonna be over soon. Just think about, you know, your baby. You're gonna be enjoying your baby very soon at the end of all this, and you have your bundle of joy, and that kind of positivity. That's sort of what uplifts, and that brings the lady through the journey. And I have to appreciate the people that were in my life. Most of the people were just amazing, and encouraged me, but there were some that just, yeah, it just really were off when it came to commentary. And it's surprising that some of the people that make these comments are not even pregnant or married themselves, but you know, yeah, you've never experienced it, and yet you think that you have the, what's the word, like you feel the need to comment in such a way to someone that's going through a difficult pregnancy. It's uncalled for, in my opinion. Another one that's a no-no, unfortunately I experienced this as well. What's the name of your child? Like, people actually want me to tell them what I'm going to name my baby, my unborn child. And don't get me wrong, some people, they're happy with it. They're set in their mind, they know what they're naming their baby, and they're happy for people to know prior to the birth. But a lot of us, naming a child is very sentimental, you know. If you're like me, I know Zambians, Africans in general, the naming of a child has a lot of meaning. Like, you name a child with meaning. A lot of the times it's around what happened during the pregnancy or during the birth, or what you went through as a couple, or what you want that child to stand for. And I wouldn't want to bring any other person into that space to tell me the name of my child prior to his birth, other than my husband and myself. Because one, you don't want people influencing you towards a name, obviously, unless you've solicited their advice. However, you don't want them meddling in your business. I mean, it's our child, so we should have the right to name them if we want to. The other thing is that people can make you start second guessing yourself. So that, you know, if they don't particularly like the name, they might go, oh, you know, but why did you name them that? That's a common name, or, you know, that's not really a nice name. And you start to second guess yourself, and that can derail, you know, what you had originally planned for your child or for your baby. So for me, it's unwise for you to be, I mean, if your naming process is similar to mine, it's unwise to go around telling people the name of your child, especially if you're not set. And we struggled. I mean, I didn't hide this. I shared it in the gender reveal video that we struggled to find names for boys. So for the longest time, really up to his birth, we were going back and forth about what we wanted to name him. And we also wanted him, you know, to have meaning, you know, to his name. So yeah, it was tricky. So yeah, that's what I think. I feel like telling people the name of the child prior to the birth, I mean, unless you're comfortable with it, go for it. But for me, I wasn't comfortable with it, and I actually got a shock when people would ask me people at work would ask me what's the name of the child. I'm like, it's not here yet. Why should you know? Yeah, anyway, that's that. The next one is unsolicited advice. I love being advised, okay? I can be advised. I love advice from older women, older people that have gone before me, that have been pregnant before me. They usually have quite practical and tangible advice to give around pregnancy and, you know, birth and bringing up a child. However, some people go a little bit too far. First of all, it's unsolicited. I didn't ask you. Second of all, it's a lot. It's a lot of advice. It's a lot of controversial advice, and they don't take rejection very well. Like if you say, you know, I want to do this with my baby, maybe they'll put you down or shame you. Yeah, that's the word. They'll shame you for actually making that decision for your child. And I'm like, you shouldn't. I think it's important to be open-minded when someone's a new mom, to allow them to settle in their motherhood, in their pregnancy, and also to allow them to make mistakes. I don't think any parent is perfect, and we are allowed to make mistakes. Nothing wrong with that. And we shouldn't make people feel as though, oh, you know, you didn't do that right and it cost you this, or it made the baby unwell, or like this or whatever. Parents should be allowed to be parents, imperfect, but always wanting and making decisions in the best interest of their child. You get over it. You get over it. Nobody ever told me that, but it's just something that I was thinking. If I'm going through difficulty with the pregnancy, last thing I'd want is for someone to just tell me to suck it up. You know, like if you're vomiting constantly or you're dealing with a particular symptom, to just say, oh, it's okay, you know, you get over it, it'll be done in no time. Do not minimize whatever someone's going through. And this could actually apply to not only pregnancy, but other things in life. You know, we mustn't minimize people's experiences. It's like pain. Everyone has a different pain threshold. What you might handle well, I might not be able to handle well. What I handle better, you might not be able to handle as well. And it's good to give each other grace in that understanding, you know, in knowing that we're different people, different personalities, different characters, and different thresholds to everything. So a little grace would be nice. Finally, and this one is probably, yeah, among the top worst ones. I mean, the one talking about, you know, you look terrible, you look bad, or you look unkempt is pretty bad. However, this one comes right at the top with the unkempt one, and that is touching someone's belly when they're pregnant. What do you think? And I know this depends, obviously it depends. For some people, they're that close and it's okay, touch the belly, whatever. All good, no problem at all. But for me, and this is story time, this happened to me. I manage a small clinic here where I am, and one of my staff members who I hadn't seen for a while saw me while pregnant. I think I was about 5 or 6 months pregnant. And the first thing he said when he saw me was, wow, when did this happen? And before I could answer, he came really close and actually touched my belly. I was so uncomfortable. I couldn't respond to him. We actually did not have a conversation during that meet because I was in so much shock that, first of all, he's male. Like, come on, am I being sensitive here? But I don't know, let me know. But would you feel comfortable if a man, even if you knew them, came up to you without asking, came up to you and touched your pregnant belly? I feel like it's inappropriate. But anyway, he touched my belly and just went away because I think he saw on my face that obviously I was not pleased. I had that kind of face, and I was not responding to any of his questions around, oh, when did this happen, or, you know, whatever. I don't even remember what else he said. I don't want to, you know, put words in his mouth. But yeah, I was shocked, and I couldn't believe that this could happen, that someone could be that unaware to actually touch someone else's, the opposite sex's belly while they're pregnant. And I'm their manager. Oh God. Yes, no, that one was the worst. Anyway, you do get situations like that where people just overstep, and it's up to you to set boundaries, obviously, in your life, in your workplace, with whoever, friends, family, colleagues. Boundaries are important. Otherwise, you know, people just step all over you, trample over you. They're in your space. They're in realms they should not have permission to enter. And yeah, that's my thing. Boundaries are important. I thought that was inappropriate. He crossed my boundary. My expression let him know. I mean, yeah, I guess I could also face him and tell him about it, but I was just like, you know, yeah, I was dealing with a lot at the time, and I was just like, I'll let it go. However, the look did communicate what I wanted to communicate. That's all the 8. I think 8. I hope they're 8. That's all I could think about. I'm sure there's other things out there that are inappropriate. Comment below, let me know what you think is inappropriate to do while someone's pregnant or in any other situation. It could be random things. I'm out here saying bluntly and openly, I can be awkward, I can be inappropriate, and I'm improving because certain people in my life have said to me that's inappropriate, and they've taught me with kindness and actually communicated that with me, so that moving forward I do better, I know better, I'm more aware and more sensitive to different situations. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. It was a different one, but you know, ever since this whole pregnancy thing, I want to share a little bit of my life with you guys as well, because I'm not just all about hair, and these are things that could affect some of us watching here today in one way or another. So I thought I'll just put this video out and open the discussion around it. Do leave a comment, do subscribe, be sure to like and leave a comment. Until next time, it's Coily Diaries. Bye.